Hello and welcome to another edition of Cinder's Playground. You, of course, your host Cinder. Um, well, when this goes up, it'll probably be Thanksgiving because I upload my videos on Thursdays. So, happy Thanksgiving for those of you who are listening. Um, Today gonna do something a little different, and I'm gonna see how this goes. And if I get an actual response, I'll do it more in the future, but I'm gonna call this film dissection. Uh, I don't know if that's the right word I'm gonna use, but that's what I'm going with. Unless you guys can give me a better title to call it. This is where I'll take a film that I like and not only break down why I like it, but also why it means so much to me. Um, and I'll give you some facts about the film as well. So first test subject is Clerks by Kevin Smith, written and directed by Kevin Smith. I chose this because this is the film that got me into film. When I say that, I mean before Clerks, I really didn't care about who writes a movie, who directs a movie. I just cared about, well, I mean, do I like it? Is it good? Does it does it make me feel something? You know? Um, Clerks was the first film that I I used to watch this religiously, like every day for a while. And I even did it with his second film, Mallrats, as well. Um, Clerks. All right, well, break down some facts for you about Clerks, and then we could dive into what I like, what I dislike, and everything there. So it was released in 1994. God, that seems like ages ago at this point now. Written and directed by Kevin Smith, and it's his first feature film debut. And let's see, who took a chance on him with that, man? That was Miramax. Yep, Miramax, who at a point did just produce great stuff, but not anymore. Um, and had a budget of $27,000, which, if memory serves, Kevin gathered that money to make that. It made $4 million though in theaters. Of course, is Brian O'Horn, as Dante, Jeff Anderson as, what was his character's name? Jeff Anderson, Randall. Jason Mewes, of course, is Jay. You know, and Kevin Smith as Silent Bob. Uh, yeah. So this is a local guy because Kevin Smith is from Jersey, as am I, and I think that was another reason that drew me to it because this is one of our own, getting out there and doing something, and putting his name out there. And don't be wrong, yes, I know we have Bon Jovi and the Boss, and we got Sinatra, and Zach Wilde from New Jersey, you know, uh, and but we don't have that many people from the entertainment field, like movies and music, and well, not music, but movies and television is what I meant to say. So, the fact that this guy gathered up his own money to make something that he was passionate about and got it out there, man. Miramax took a chance on this, guy from Jersey, and I applaud him for that, man. Like I said, it's something that luck was definitely on his side. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Miramax took a chance on him in this film that he made with his own money, you know, is definitely remarkable. And like I said, right place, right time, and they like what they saw, so they let it run with them. And if memory serves me well, it did do a loop in film festivals before it went nationwide. which is kind of the brand name for Kevin, pretty much. I think most of his films went that route. So this was the first. All right. So, of course, the one thing that you like about the film, if you like the film, is the dialogue, the writing. Uh, I've never heard people talk. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't heard people talk this way. I would have meant to say I haven't seen people on film talk so real and so eloquently, and that's a testament to Kevin's writing. And I have no idea if the people he hung around when he was younger talk like this, but I'm assuming he did. That's where he got the inspiration from. And the fact that he was remember to uh get that down on paper, you know, in the script to have these characters speak that way and convey the way of speaking. I think is tremendous. Yes, I not a fan of Kevin right now. Well, in recent years, but there was a time when I was. And it's because of stuff like this. Nobody writes like Kevin, you know. Well, early Kevin, I should say. Nobody writes like Kevin, and nobody looks at conversations like Kevin. Um, he definitely was unique in that way, and I think that made him stick out. And that's why I think Miramax did Mallrats too. That's why Miramax took a chance on him for Mallrats as well. But correct me if I'm wrong though about Mallrats. I don't know who distributed that. Two, the actors. I think everybody did a fantastic job. Even though the cast was small, and it definitely added to the film. Like I said, Randall and Dante are iconic characters, and they will always have a special place in my heart. I love those two characters, man. And yes, I've seen all three Clerks films, and they've had that same swagger and demeanor throughout, and I love it. The black and white, which I thought was a nice touch, and I think memory serves here to do it for budgetary reasons, but still, that makes it special. That makes it unique, in my opinion. Yeah, every now and again you get somebody who'll do a film in black and white, but the fact that it was a necessity to him and he had to, I think, and put it out there anyway, speaks to, I think, the faith he had in this project. It is quite possibly, I mean, it is my favorite independent film, if I'm being honest. Like this and probably the Blair Witch Project. It's remarkable, I say it again. This kid from Jersey who had a dream, wanted to do it, and went through. I know he went through a lot to get this done, raise that money to get this made. So kudos to him, that young Kevin Smith. And it'll always be a favorite. It's one of my favorite top 5 movies of all time. It just is, you know, uh, because of what it done for me, you know. Because after this movie going forward, that's when I would look at directors of films, writers of films, because, and I'm sure I've said this before, but um, I equate it to my comics. When I say that, I mean that if I am reading a book, a series of comics, and I really like the storyline, I'll take notice of the writer. And once he leaves that title and goes to another title, 9 times out of 10, I will follow him to that title. And boom. you have another new reader on a different title. You know, uh, at least back in the day, comics now is a totally different story. But that's save that for another video about the state of comic books. Um, so I definitely did that for film after Clerks. I was like, wow, this guy Kevin Smith, he's pretty cool. He's from Jersey too. What? All right, and then that's where Mars come out. I immediately saw it. You know, then Chasing Amy, saw that. You know, everything he did. You know, I have pretty much seen. You know, uh, even that crappy Masters Universe, which is why I'm not a fan of Kevin right now, because what he did to Masters of the Universe, uh, which might be another video in the future, the rape of Masters of the Universe. I'll put it like that. Yeah, that's the title for another video, the rape of Masters of the Universe. Um, and so yeah, so from him, I went from him, followed all his stuff. Then Quentin was the next guy. Because after I saw Pulp Fiction, I was like, oh my god, this guy's writing, it's unbelievable, you know. And then it just kind of went from there, the rabbit hole, from there to Quentin. Then I went to, well, yeah, went back on my. Then I started looking back at old stuff that I really loved, like James Cameron stuff, you know. Um, who was another director I like? I like Ridley Scott, who I love from Aliens, you know, and even some of today's people, you know. Like Clint Eastwood does some good stuff. You know, I don't like everything he's done, but he does good stuff, man. You know, um, oh God, I'm trying to think. Christopher Nolan, obviously, is another one. You know, I follow him and his stuff. So yeah, so Kevin was well, I said Kevin, but the Clerks as a whole was a gateway for me to dive deeper into film and have a deeper appreciation for it and people behind the camera. Uh, and let me know in the comments if you are a fan of Clerks or you're a fan of Kevin Smith's films. Do you like all his films? What do you think of what his work on Masters of the Universe? That one I really love to know for sure. And let me know. Would you mind seeing me dissect another film that I love? So let me know in the comments. So gonna leave it like that. Leave it there. Don't want to make this too long. You hear me ramble. But my name is Cinder. If you want, you could get in contact with me on Instagram at Cinder666. I post about updates about the show, geek news, and just funny shit I find on the internet, pretty much. Also have a TikTok, same deal over there. Geek news, updates about the show, funny things I find on the internet. Also on both platforms, I do occasionally put up some gameplay reels, you know, of video games. So, you know, if you like that stuff too, that's another reason to follow me, you know. But that's all I got for you guys about Clerks. Uh, as I close this out, which I haven't been doing this, but I'm gonna do it now. It's called on the right should be the subscribe button. So please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm just a one-man show here, just doing this thing for the love of all things geeky, and any support is greatly appreciated. And on the left is a recommended video if you like this one. But that's all I got for you guys. My name is Cinder, and I will talk to you guys later.